IdaBWells. Barnett was a pioneering black journalist whose data-driven reporting exposed lynching, a civil rights strategist who built institutions in Chicago, and a suffrage leader who insisted that racial justice and women's rights advance together. The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon them. IdaBWells Fast Facts. Born the 16th of July, 1862, Holly Springs, Mississippi. Born enslaved. Died the 25th of March, 1931, Chicago, Illinois. Buried at Oakwood Cemetery. Education. Early work. Teacher. Student at Shaw, now Rust College. Journalist in Memphis. Notable roles. Editor, Memphis Free Speech. Co-publisher in Chicago. Co-founder, leader in multiple reform groups. Family. Married attorney-editor Ferdinand L. Barnett, 1895. Children, Charles, Herman, Ida Jr., Alfreda. Turning point, 1892. After the lynching of her friends Thomas Moss, Calvin McDowell, and Will Stewart of the People's Grocery in Memphis, Wells investigated and published the facts. A white mob destroyed her press. She continued the campaign from the North and abroad. Landmark publications. Southern Horrors. Lynch Law in all its phases. 1892 exposes causes and false pretexts for lynching. The Red Record, 1895, compiles statistics, cases, and context nationwide. Mob Rule in New Orleans, 1900 case study of mob violence and official complicity. The Reason Why the Colored American is Not in the World's Columbian Exposition, 1893. Editor, with Frederick Douglass, I. Garland, Penn, and F.L. Barnett, Legal and Civic Action. Rail Car Discrimination Suit, 1884-87. Sued after being forced from a first-class ladies' car. Initial win overturned on appeal. Chicago Organizing. Founded the Negro Fellowship League, c. 1910, for new black migrants. Co-led anti-segregation and labor uplift efforts. Suffrage. Founded Chicago's Alpha Suffrage Club, 1913. Joined the Illinois delegation during the 1913 Washington Parade despite segregation orders. NAACP. Signatory to the 1909 call that led to the NAACP's formation. Remained independently critical and active. Legacy and honors. Posthumous memoir, Crusade for Justice, ed. Alfreda Duster. 1970, preserves her voice and methods. Pulitzer Prize Special Citation 2020 for her pioneering investigative journalism. Light of Truth, IdaBWells, National Monument, Bronzeville, Chicago, and the IdaBWells Homes site commemorate her work. Mini Timeline, 1862. Born in Mississippi, 1884-87. Railroad discrimination case, 1892. Anti-lynching crusade begins after Memphis murders, 1893-94. Speaking tours in Britain, 1895. The Red Record marries F.L. Barnett, 1909. Signs NAACP. Call 1910-13. Negro Fellowship League. Alpha Suffrage Club. 1931. Dies in Chicago. Pages 2. 3 classroom handout. Overview. Teacher and student friendly. IdaBWells. Barnett revolutionized American reform by combining investigative reporting, public data, and grassroots organizing. She showed that accurate facts could dismantle myths, mobilize communities, and pressure institutions locally, nationally, and internationally. Expanded timeline, with context, 1862. Born enslaved in Holly Springs, emancipation follows during the Civil War. 1878. Orphaned in yellow fever epidemic, begins teaching to keep siblings together. 1884. 87. Railroad case tests Jim Crow in court. Early public stand for civil rights. 1892. People's Grocery lynchings. Wells's editorials and investigations spark national attention. Presses destroyed. She relocates north. 1893. Edits The Reason Why. Pamphlet protesting exclusion at the Columbian Exposition. Distributes thousands of copies. 1893-94. Anti-lynching lecture tours in Britain build transatlantic pressure. 1895. Publishes The Red Record. Marries Ferdinand L. Barnett, a lawyer and editor. Moves into Chicago civic life. 1900. Mob rule in New Orleans documents official complicity in mob violence. 1909. Signs the call that leads to the NAACP. Maintains independent advocacy. 1913. Organizes the Negro Fellowship League. Founds the Alpha Suffrage Club. Insists black women march within state delegations. 1931. Dies in Chicago. Later recognized as a foremother of modern investigative journalism and civil rights strategy. Key ideas and terms. Investigative journalism. Collecting verifiable facts and cases. Cross-checking claims against primary sources. Rape myth. False pretext often used to justify lynching. Wells refuted it with evidence. Lynching and mob violence. Extrajudicial killings used to enforce racial control, often tolerated or aided by local authorities. Transatlantic advocacy. Using international opinion to pressure U.S. policy. Intersectionality. Before the term. Wells linked race, gender, class, and citizenship long before the term existed. Primary sources. Assignable, open access. Southern horrors. Lynch law in all its phases. 1892. The Red Record. 1895. Mob rule in New Orleans. 1900. The reason why the colored American is not in the world's Columbian Exposition. 1893. Crusade for Justice. The autobiography of Ida B. Wells. 1970. At Alfreda Duster. Who's interested in knowing the truth? Go to afroacademy.org. Thank you. Please share, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be posted when we have a new video. Make a comment. The oppressor tries to keep us from knowing the truth. The truth is always the truth. Isn't that the truth? May the rest of your life be the best of your life. Or on Z.